10-4-1 with the NFL complimentary plays over the past 4 weeks. Let's get right to it for your Sunday card. Hi, everyone. Al DeMarco here, General Manager of DeMarcosports.com. And this is going to be, as I said, your Sunday video report. As I always like to remind you, if you want to subscribe to the channel, you can do so right there at the bottom. You know I don't do the video reports each and every day, but that is the easiest way to find out when I will have a video report for you. So subscribe right down there in the bottom of the corner, and you'll always be alerted. Let's get to the first complimentary play. It's going to be Cincinnati -3 against Seattle. Now, I know Seattle is coming off the bye and that win against the Giants on Monday night, but let's face it, it was more the Giants losing the game than Seattle really winning the game, because Seattle's defense played well. They sacked Daniel Jones 11 times in that contest, but the Giants' offensive line sucks. We know that for a fact, and it's not like the Seahawks played that well offensively. The Giants were just that pathetic in that game. What I like about the Bengals here is that Joe Burrow finally put it all together and looked like the Joe Burrow of the past couple of seasons. Of course, he had the calf injury in the preseason, and it really nagged him when he returned here for the regular season. But last week in Arizona, he had that mobility back. He had a great game, 36 for 45, 317 yards and 3 touchdowns. Jamar Chase had the big game as well, 15 catches, 192 yards, and was on the receiving end of all 3 of those touchdown passes. So even though Seattle is off the bye, and even though Seattle has the 2 big road wins against the Giants and, of course, at Detroit, a game in which the Lions had their own injury concerns and had a number of turnovers as well, I like Cincinnati. The Bengals, of course, on an 8-2-1 ATS roll at home. With this line being 3, you know what I'm about to say. Buy down the half point on the Bengals if that line is anywhere between 3 and 4.5 points. Next one, I am going to go with the Saints, -1.5. Yes, against Houston. Now, it is true the Saints looked very impressive against New England because the Saints played well, and the Patriots, again, let's use one of my favorite words today, were pathetic. Last week, for the second straight week, after getting blown out at Dallas, they were blown out at home, 34-0. Patriots, 156 total yards in that game, 1 for 14 on third down. Mac Jones pulled once again. They also had 3 turnovers in that contest. But let's give a little credit to the Saints defense, which has played so well all season while waiting for the offense to finally produce. What I like about the Saints offense, other than the fact that Derek Carr is still finding his way, is that they've got Alvin Kamara back. He had over 80 yards last week, averaged a little over 4 yards per carry. The Saints are going to finally find their rhythm offensively. The defense is damn tough. And C.J. Stroud, although he's gotten off to a very good start for Houston, hasn't faced a defense as good as New Orleans yet in his rookie season. Now, you look at what Houston did last week, and you see a 21-19 loss at Atlanta, a game the Falcons won in the last couple of seconds. But if you dig a little deeper in the box score, you see that the Texans were thoroughly outplayed in that game everywhere but on the scoreboard, as the Falcons had a total yardage advantage of 447 to 313. I think this is a very cheap price, and I'm really shocked here at how little love New Orleans is getting in Vegas. Saints -1.5. Yeah, I'm taking New Orleans. Another team that I'm shocked at how little love they are getting, Detroit. What do the Lions have to do? I mean, this team is on a 13-2 ATS run overall. They've covered 7 of their last 10 on the road, and they're only a 3-point favorite at Tampa. Do you believe in Baker Mayfield? I don't believe in Baker Mayfield. And even though the Bucs have gotten off to a surprisingly good start and Baker Mayfield has played well, they do not deserve to be a 3-point underdog here against a far better Detroit team. 42-24 at home against Carolina last week, but it was a 24-10 game at halftime, and it was over early. It was a mercy killing. And Jared Goff, another strong game, 3 touchdown passes, 236 yards passing. Yeah, you know what I'm going to say. Yeah, you know. It's 3, buy down the half point on the Lions, and don't look back. Final game, the Sunday nighter. The Bills are 15. They're coming off the loss in London against Jacksonville. Not totally unexpected, especially since Jaguars were playing their second straight game in London. They had the travel advantage on their side. So the Bills are a 15-point favorite. They could be a 22-point favorite. I'd still tell you to go ahead and lay the points with the Bills because the Giants aren't going to have Daniel Jones. They're going to start Tyrod Taylor. Does it really matter? He's still going to be playing behind that lousy offensive line, a Giants defense that hasn't been able to stop anybody, and the Bills are coming off a loss. Yeah, the Giants last week, they almost covered at Miami. The Dolphins should have scored 44. They didn't, even though they outgained the Giants 524 to 268. And the Bills, by the way, they're coming off a loss. So I like the Bills, and I don't care what the point spread is in that game. Now, if I had to rate these plays, how would I do them? Well, guys, listen, I think Cincinnati and Detroit are right there, the top tier, right? The Bengals and the Lions are the top tier. Saints slotted in there right next to them at number 2, and then the Bills right there at the next spot. So again, the Bengals and the Lions are top tier plays. Then I'm taking the Saints and then the Bills as the double-digit chalk. That'll do it. I wish you well. And again, good luck, everybody. Talk to you again soon.